Today on the show, we're going to talk a little JoJo Siwa. She broke the internet this weekend with her new song, and there are mixed reactions to it. I want to get Jax's take on it. Plus, hey, would you break up with somebody if they texted you 20 times an hour, 530 times a day, 159,000 times over the course of a year? Because it happened. We'll tell you about it. Hey, welcome to the show, and make sure that you like and subscribe Adam Wild and Jax on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. And Jax, we're just going to get right into it today because, you know, this show is a little bit about pop culture, a little bit about life. It's, it's going to be the person that I think fascinates most of the world because nobody's really sure what her deal is. It's JoJo Siwa.
Okay, that was a hot intro. Right from an intro into JoJo, you know how to capture a lesbian, Adam Wild. What's going on?
Listen, I've already captured one on this podcast. I just want to capture the whole world.
True.
But no, I wanted to ask you about this. So JoJo Siwa took over TikTok this weekend, and she was hilarious because, you know, she's singing Bette Davis Eyes, an old Kim Carnes song from the 1980s.
Yep.
You know, a real classic, a great song. And I think it shocked a lot of people. There's been a lot of things going on with JoJo Siwa that I think are sort of reflective of what's going on in culture as a whole. So a year ago, JoJo Siwa was in her Karma's a Bitch era.
Yep,
and she was sort of dressing like a member of like Kiss, like Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, with the star face and the black and silver boots and all that, and was talking about her sexuality and that she was gay or pansexual. But then she says she was forced to say she was a lesbian. She is now on the other end of it, dating a man, nothing wrong with that, and releasing this song that it comes across as like a little conservative that goes with how things are going now. And I'm curious to know, first off, what do you think of the cover itself? And then second, what do you think is going on with JoJo Siwa? Because this is somebody I know, Jax, you've been obsessed with forever.
Okay, let's not use, I'm not obsessed. I'm keeping a watchful hawk eye on her comings and goings over the past, I would say 3 to 5 years, because I'm fascinated. I'm absolutely fascinated. And mostly because she's a chameleon of some sorts. And I don't think it's because she wants to fit into the spaces. I just think she can change, looks and styles and aesthetic at the drop of a dime. I think that's the saying. But I have to be, and I want to be very clear on this because, I think that, on one hand, JoJo is a public person, has been for years. Yep. And some can make the argument, well, hey, she's putting herself out there, so she's asking for these comments. But if I had the amount of exposure that she does when I was a young queer, I don't think I would be here because I was a mess. And I was a mess. And you're finding yourself, she's young, she's been in the spotlight, she's been monetarily taking care of her family for a decade. So I think she has an immense amount of pressure. And I think that we should give her a little bit more slack, but also JoJo, where's your PR team, my honey? Because I want to give you the grace. I want to give you the love, but this Bette Davis cover is it's like Miley Cyrus is underground, even deeper underground, it's just singing from a mine, and it's very hoarse. And I think that she should enjoy her money for a minute and rest up. That's what I think. I love her.
If you don't know JoJo, she was a dancer on 2 seasons of the reality show Dance Moms with her mom, Jessalyn Siwa. And actually, JoJo's been extraordinarily successful. Obviously, you've probably been aware of her, but, she made Time's list of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2020. In the world, the entire flippin' world, which is amazing. She was signed to Nickelodeon, did a bunch of shows for them, and has obviously released some music. And I think, it's interesting, Jax, because you talk about how she sounds like she's in a mine. Kim Carnes posted about the Bette Davis Eyes cover this weekend, and sort of gave her a little bit of shade. She said, there is a difference between singing a song and embodying it. I've always believed authenticity is what makes music timeless. I'm forever grateful to be the voice in this one, Bette Davis Eyes. And then she has since deleted it. So that's the ultimate shade because, Kim Karen, she might be in her 50s or 60s or something right now. But that's how the kids do it. They insult you and then they delete the post. But the other side of it is it's unprecedented success. She debuted at #1 on global Spotify with 9.15 million streams of this song.
Right, but there's a difference between curiosity listens and passion listens, right? It's like, what is this? Or I love this. I also have to say that I didn't realize because, well, first of all, Kim in that statement, there was some ownership, like as the original, like I am the singer of this song, which I kind of love. That's salty. Also, she's 79 years old, which I didn't realize. She looks great. Girl looks fantastic.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, but no, it's like, sure, she has 40 trillion streams on the song, but is it because people want to hear it in a good way or a bad way, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, and I'm like, could there really be 9.15 million streams that are just curiosity? And I think the way the internet goes, that's actually... Yeah, of course there could be, right? Like there's so many people in the world. And as much as they'll look at that as a ringing success, like what's week 2 look like on that song, right? Does it last the week?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the era we're in right now, which is sort of nuts. And I want to talk to you about this a little bit because you being gay is
Get it. I just love that statement.
I mean, you said so. Gay, we just you're in Pride Month in Nova Scotia. We had some Pride Month here in Ontario and in June and lots of places around the world. And one of the things that I think the community sometimes gets annoyed by is how they're marketed to or how their culture. LGBTQ plus.
Sometimes I can't say it either, my love. Don't take it too hard. Don't worry.
I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me off the hook. Sometimes the way that your culture can be co-opted to sell things. And so when Madonna did Vogue, she was bringing trans culture to the fore, right? It was something that she was bringing and was celebrated for that. But, occasionally at Pride, you'll see like that beer ad where it'll be like, hey, come drink this beer because it's gay. You know what I mean?
Hey, gays, come have some beer. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was curious, like when she comes, last year it's very, I'm gay. I'm living my truth, that sort of thing. And this year, dating a different guy, sort of coming across. Some people are calling it trad wifey. Does that irk you at all, or is that just the various parts of someone's personality, and you got to let them figure themselves out?
Well, that's the thing, and maybe because like there's queer baiting, there's all these very, very real things and problematic things, and maybe I'm not the best example, but JoJo or no celebrity, I don't think really speaks for, I guess, my identity or my community. And also, maybe I'm different. I can't be bothered and let her do what she has to do. It's like, it's also kind of, if we want equality, this is just as messy as the straights. Cause look at straight celebrity culture. Like everybody's a mess most of the time. Right. So that's the thing is if we want equality, we have to have a messy JoJo, but I don't, that being said, I also don't want, the queerness to be viewed as a convenient fad or a convenient identity or something used to sell, like a model, a vehicle to sell things. But also sexuality has been used as a vehicle to sell things. You know what I mean? So it's I'm of two minds on it. I also just think, this is going to sound very Jackson, very naive and vanilla, but like, I think we also can just be a little bit nicer to each other. And sure, she's putting herself out there. So we do have, a bit more slack to make fun of her, but also we don't have to rip people apart when they're putting out art on the internet. And if you don't like that art, yes, sure. But we can also just be a little bit nice to each other. She's what, 21? How old's JoJo?
Yeah. Like people forget that she's really young.
She's a kid. And that's the thing is, like I said, if people were able to put comments on my early 20s, oh my dear God, it would be bad. And I deserve it. It was messy Bessie, okay? It was messy.
What would they have been saying, Jax?
Well, I was just they would have just been saying, get some rest. Get some rest.
Were you up late?
Well, it's just like get some rest physically and emotionally. I'm in Halifax right now, and I'm like walking down the streets. I'm like, my God, I was eating pizza that I can't remember on that corner, and I was having a fight with this girlfriend on that corner. And it's like, I don't know. Those are your early 20s. And that being said, like the same girlfriend that I was probably fighting with, I'm actually going to have lunch with today. So it's like there's room for repair, there's room for healing, but we don't. But that's the thing. She is putting herself out there, but we don't have to be like, she is scum and a monster and should die. Like, she's covering a song. I don't like the cover. You probably don't either. And that's okay. At 24 hours max, there's going to be new news, right?
Yes.
That's the thing. Let's go easier on each other.
All right. Well, how about this? We'll switch gears. And
Switch it up, baby.
I want to ask you, because listen, on this show, it's interesting. We got producer Steph, who everybody loves. We got Jax, who everybody loves. We got me, who not everybody's sure about. Let's be honest.
No, we do.
But what's interesting about the dynamic of this show is it's completely sort of non-traditional behind the scenes. And what I mean by that is people who shot and edited things in the past traditionally were seen as men, right? Mm-hmm. And when we shoot and edit this podcast, I don't do any of the shooting and the editing of it. Like I'm at
nor
my
should you.
nor should I. Yeah. I'm at my wife's cottage, but I am not technical at all. Yeah. And so Steph and Jax are the ones who are the great shooters, the great editors, that sort of thing. And I wanted to ask you guys, because, when people buy podcast equipment or video equipment or whatever, even if it's for a family vacation, they tend to want to go for like the highest end stuff possible. Yeah. What is the most ridiculously expensive thing that you have purchased in this? And there's a reason I'm asking, because Apple is charging a lot of money for some of their new gear, and it's going to shock you. So I wanted to ask you first, what's the thing you already know, like, I spent too much money on that, but you know what? Screw it. I'm doing it.
Like for the show?
For the show, for you, whatever.
Well, for the show, I would say the camera is probably, and there's Steph's, or the Rodecaster that we have in Toronto, which like records our whole show. But for me personally, it's probably camera gear or this friggin' drone I have for like, I just wanted to go in the sky, this friggin' drone. And I love it.
Why did you buy a drone?
Because I was supposed to be doing a campaign and going to Los Angeles actually in the winter, and fires, politics, all these things happened. And, I didn't end up going, and I needed it for another shoot. So I kept it. And now I'm just in the sky, man.
You're a drone
I've been
pilot.
droning around. Listen, it's beautiful up there. I'm also like a bit of a camera nerd, like not to the degree that Stephanie is, because she's actually really good at it and artistic. But I just love it. I love a piece of gear. I love a footage from a different perspective. What about you, Steph?
Yeah, Steph, what do you got?
Recently, I bought a monitor that goes on top of my camera, and so I bought it, and it was really expensive. It was probably like $800 comes in.
What?
I need to buy the battery separately. I need to buy the cords separately. So I'm like, I can't even use this right now. I had to buy extra things on top of it. I'm like, everything is like always extra. There's always like all these separate things. I even bought an external battery.
That sounds like Apple.
Yeah, I bought an external battery recently, and I had to buy a mount so that I can use it on my camera. Anyway, I don't know.
Hey, how much did that mount cost you, Steph? This is important to the discussion we're going to have. How much did the mount cost?
The mount was like $200.
Okay.
Jeez.
That sounds crazy, right? That's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
How about this? Apple was doing a huge reveal of their entire new product line the other day. And they just revealed that their new 6K monitor. So remember, top of the line, probably like movie studio quality thing where you're editing for that, is $5,000. And you're like,
for God's sakes.
That's a lot of money. But here's what's crazy, guys. The monitor, the monitor thing that it stands on, literally the monitor stand, which you can rotate around or whatever. The monitor stand drove the crowd to silence, because you know how these Apple things usually go, right? They're all there, they're clapping, they're wild. It's like a rock concert. They're like, I can't wait for the new Apple gear. Apple fans
I know.
They're crazy, right? And Tim Cook's up there going, "Hello, Cupertino. Here we go with our new products." And so they reveal this stand, and the stand costs $1,000 American.
Oh no.
$1,000. And so all it does is it holds this monitor, but you can also like flip the monitor around or whatever if you wanted like a high view, a tall view, like if you want parallel, if you want
vertical,
perpendicular, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is all it does, and it's $1,000. And you can hear the crowd go silent and go, okay, I know we get ripped off a little, but Apple products are pretty good, right? I know we get ripped off a little. That seems insane. And people were throwing up comparisons all weekend going like, you can buy these for like $32 on Amazon.
Yeah. Oh.
So I just want to say, like, are you stuck to a brand so much in anything? It doesn't have to be camera equipment because that's like, are you stuck to anything where you're like, you know what? I know I'm overpaying for this, but it's worth it to me. Because I was trying to figure out like what I would never overpay for a stand like that. But what would I overpay for? And so I wanted to ask you guys, because what were you willing to overpay for? So
I want to say too, I love Apple. I love all of their products. I have, Mac computers and iPhone. However, don't buy that monitor and don't buy that stand. And I love Apple. And I'm sorry, Apple, if you're listening, but like Steph, we actually talked about this. Like I have, like an Apple computer, but I didn't buy the actual Apple monitor for it because you can get a way better 4K screen for way less money. Like the monitors are probably the only thing I wouldn't buy from Apple just because they are the exact same thing that are, but way more expensive. I think actually, Adam, I chatted with Jesse from the Steve Dangle podcast and he was like, get this HP 4K. It'll cost you a fraction and it's actually a better monitor for editing. And it's for the purpose. Wow. Like maybe with Apple, you like, the specs because of gaming or et cetera. But like for editing, I don't like Apple monitors. I have, like the Mac Studio and I plug it into an HP monitor. So but Apple is probably the brand that I spend too much money on, but because like Apple works so well with like all the Adobe things, So yeah, I would say, Apple is probably it for me when it comes to tech though, but like clothing and stuff, I don't, do you guys have any brands?
I'll give you one.
Yeah.
You ready, guys?
What is it?
Okay. Yeah. Lululemon.
Oh, you love Lulu.
I am.
You do.
Lululemon is suing Costco because Costco came out apparently with a cheaper version of a lot of what Lululemon does, especially the joggers. And I'm like, dude, what are these Costco joggers like? Because the Lululemon ones are great. They never lose color. They last you forever, but the crotch always goes out on them. So I'm always taking them to the store and they're like, hey, what's up, big legs? You split another crotch? Oh, 100%. The guy knows me. He's like, you're really going to make me stitch up these old pants again? I'm like, yes, sir, I am. I paid $100 for those and they're too much. I can't just throw them away. So I make them do it every single time. The
Costco dupes are just as good as from what I've heard. But like, I love Lulu, especially for like their broad line, especially for like, I don't want to bring the girls out too much. I kind of want to make them smaller, if anything. So I love Lulu bras. Lulu's great.
I'll look into that for the next time I'm looking for bras. Stephanie, what are you willing to overpay for?
I guess most of it would just be like gear wise, because even like me and Jax were just talking about how like she bought some of like the cheaper gears of what I bought, but like the battery's dying quickly and like there's just like other issues.
Yeah.
So I think for gear, I'm just like, I may as well just go all in on
and get the right stuff. Get the right stuff.
Moneybags Machusi over here. So there we go.
That's what my wife always says. So this is my wife's pitch. Okay, you guys ready for this? I'm curious to hear if you agree.
Yes.
Her pitch is: listen, especially when things go on sale, by spending money, we're saving money in the long term.
Like she's not wrong. By buying quality.
Yeah. So okay. All right. I find with clothes though, I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, especially, when a few months ago, all the tariffs started and all these Chinese companies came out of the woodwork and like, hello, we make this for 10 cents.
Yeah.
And look at it. Welcome to our clean, cool factory. But anyway, the last thing I want to hit before we get to dying to know is this is a crazy story. And I want to know if you've ever had, Jax, an obsessed somebody you went on a date with, but that was as far as it went. Like, or maybe an obsessed ex, but like, have you ever had somebody that's like, you got to put the phone down. You got to stop late night texting me. Like, this is bad. You wouldn't want your friends to see this. This is embarrassing.
Like somebody who was just like blowing up my phone and I was like, we're done here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was seeing a girl this is years and years and years ago, but I was seeing a girl who was just like, I don't even think she wanted to be with me. I think it's just she wanted me because I said we couldn't be together. You know what I mean? It's like you want what you can't have.
She wants what she can't have?
Yeah. And I was like, I don't even think you liked me that much, but she was blowing up my phone. And she was like, how could you do this? We are meant to be. Like, and it was a lot. And
how many dates did you go on? We are meant to be.
I think we went on 3. So in lesbian standard time, we were married. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but
what is the equivalent of, in all honesty, of date 3 when you're a lesbian? Is it like date 10 for straight people? Like, what is it?
Well, at that point, you're living together. So,
are you?
No. I think it was a lot different. Like, I was definitely a lot more like U-Haul codependent lesbian in my 20s. But I think date 3 still, like date 3, you like them. Like if I'm going on a date, but date 3 back then was like, I should have let her know, but I wanted to see where it was going. I don't even think like we hadn't slept together.
Right.
But she was just really, she was really fixed on me, and she lived not far from me too, which was, I mean, that, and at the time I was living in Halifax. Yeah. So we were,
did she drive by your house?
No, we didn't have cars. Are you kidding?
Oh. Did she bike by your house?
I don't know. She would take the bus by my house. No, no, but like we were at a lot of shared spaces, and she was lovely. And like looking back, like I was an idiot. Like she was absolutely wonderful, and I probably should have. I think I just didn't want to be in a relationship, like a proper relationship. She wanted a lot of like really serious settling down, and I mean, she's lovely. I haven't seen her in years, but yeah,
I love that you can give her that kind of credit, because I'd be like, nah, that was weird, man. Okay. I got to read you this story because I want to know if it compares to yours. Okay. A woman was arrested after texting a man 159,000 times over 10 months. It. 10 months.
Oh, girls putting in work.
So the math is that's 530 text messages a day. That's roughly like 20 to 30 an hour.
That's harassment.
And she'd say, this is what's so funny. This story's crazy. She's like, some people, like there was that Army Hammer stuff that came out years ago where they're like, get attracted to you, but they want to like bite you, like nibble you and stuff. Yeah. She was like, I want to make sushi out of your kidneys and chopsticks from your hand bones.
Okay, that is a serial. Is she in jail?
And she did go to jail. She was also arrested for trespassing outside of his home when he was out of the country. But she says it's okay if that's how he feels, as in he felt creeped out. She told cops somebody should love him. I'm really surprised that freaked him out. He has so much love to give. He's so cute. I can't believe I scared him.
I want her to be away somewhere safe. Yeah. I like how she makes it his problem too. It's like, I can't believe he didn't want this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
okay.
my God.
And I've saved the best part for last. Are you ready?
No, I'm not. What?
Officers found her in his house at one point. And this is when they arrested her. She was taking a bath. And she said, why is this happening to me? She said, and then when police said,
so she's really sick. Yeah.
Well,
she's not well. Yeah.
She said, I guess I made up this scenario where I feel like I belong here. It's it's crazy out there for dating. And
crazy.
It's a crazy story. It's a crazy story.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah.
That's what awaits, on the dating apps. Just throwing that out there.
I'm never going on the apps ever. It's like, that is passionate. And I will say that I wish her the best.
All right. Now that segues perfectly into a question that we have from Scott's Toy Barn. Okay. I'm going to run it through.
Toy Room.
Scott's Toy Room. Toy Barn is from Toy Story.
Scott's Toy Farm. Here we go. Yeah.
All right. Let's have a listen to Scott. He wants to ask about relationships and families. Here we go.
Hi, this is Scott from Sackville, Nova Scotia. This question is for Adam, Jax, and Steph. And I'm dying to know, have you ever been in a relationship where your friends and or family just could not stand the person you were seeing? And if so, how long did the relationship last?
Okay. How long did the relationship last when your friends and family didn't like the person you were with? Jax?
Ooh, not long. Not long. And, but I didn't know. I got a general vibe, but I didn't know how much they didn't like her until after.
You never do, right? You never do.
Yeah. And I hope that people will tell me sooner, but also like, would I have listened? No, probably not. Like I would have just thought, and my family, I probably would have been like, well, they're just being particular. But if my friends don't like somebody, I should really listen to that, because my friends, like, they're important and they have seen me through many, many moons of dating.
Yes.
And if they don't vibe with somebody, they're also like, my friends are sweeties. So if somebody's not good with them, I don't want to date them. Right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Steph,
absolutely.
I know you've been in a long-term relationship with a tall and extremely handsome fellow for a long
So
and
hot.
I'm not even kidding.
So hot.
Steph's guy is pretty hot. He's a good-looking boy.
And
He's a good-looking boy.
Adonis, power
He
couple.
appreciates that.
So before all that though, before that hotness, did you have anybody that your family were like, not us?
My first boyfriend, because we were so toxic and like on and off for like 2 years.
Which Taylor Swift songs describes that relationship?
There's so many. Don't get me started. There's too many to count.
God.
No, but by the end of it, because we were on and off for like 2 years and it was just like a disaster of a relationship. By the end of it, my friends were like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
kick him to the curb. Enough's enough. You can't go back again. Like, it was a disaster. So that was probably like the only thing.
Have you ever got the thing where the relationship's so bad for so long that your friends are like, listen, respectfully, we've been down this road. I don't want to hear it anymore.
My best friend Emma once said to me, she said, I can't do this again.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah, because I was like getting back with I was on again, off again with this woman when I was younger. And my best friend Emma, like, she was living away, so we'd always have phone calls. And one of the phone calls, she said, I can't do this again. I just can't. I can't. And she was right. And you know what? Nor should she have. She couldn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, next question for Feels Good to Laugh says, would Jax give up mayonnaise for $5 million? As in mayonnaise the rest of your life?
For $5 million?
$5 million. I think that's a pretty...
No.
You wouldn't?
What? No, absolutely not. What I will do is
that means you think you can earn $5 million, which I respect the hell out of. Good for you.
Over the rest of my life. Well, the thing is that mayonnaise gives me power, and I need power. Mayonnaise is my fuel, and I need mayo to earn. And if I have enough mayo, I'm like it's limitless, right? So in order to make money, I need mayonnaise. So no, I wouldn't give mayonnaise up for anything or anyone. Okay.
I like that. I honestly, listen, Jax, it's ballsy. It's ballsy that you say that.
Thank you.
You're like, you know what? I can make that $5 million on my own and have my mayo.
But also, you know what? Even if I can't, I'd rather be broke and have mayo. You know, I would.
Bond Move says, how do you both make a reasonable means of living?
I mean,
working?
Eat mayonnaise. No, honestly, yeah, working. So Adam, like, what? Because people have asked me this, and it's interesting. They're like, because people always know us from radio. They're like, but what do you do for a living now? So Adam, I mean, like, you obviously, like, explain what you do, because you got a whole damn company.
Well, so yeah, so I run a sports production company for podcasting and YouTube. So I've been working on that with my two business partners who happen to be really good friends of mine and Jax's. We've been working on that since like 2012, 2013. So it's been a long time. And so that really only became a real company after the second wave of the pandemic. I think it was like late 2020. That we decided, we should make this as a company and like do other shows other than our own YouTube channel, whatever. And so that's where I make money. And then I do a little bit of influencing, not as much as Jax does. Cause I'm just not, I haven't been as on Instagram as I perhaps should be. And I think to Jax's chagrin. But you know, it's something that
great.
It's something that like I want to get back to a little bit. Like I posted this weekend about how my wife was making croissants and how it took her 3 days.
Yes.
And then I was posting about like the kids and stuff that I was, because I literally, my life, it felt a little bit in my 20s when I was like posting a lot more, that it was like, and I don't know if any other parents go through this. You have a kid and you're like, there's nothing, like I'm not in Ibiza partying, right? Like I'm, what am I doing? I'm on the beach and like hanging out with my nephews and nieces and they're all in diapers and, it's not as hip and cool. Jax has like a really exciting, fun life, so I could see why she posts. I have a parent's life, which is exciting and fun in boring ways,
But also, even if you didn't have and you don't have a boring life as much as you think. But if I may say, I don't think that you have time really to do as much posting. Like I don't have a kid, and you also, because you do so much social media with, your other podcasts, et cetera. I think that probably fills the bucket a lot more for you. You also are on camera a lot more than I am, right? So it's like you do more of other things that I don't do. So I may be more on Instagram, but you're also way more on YouTube. Like you are, like you're
a lot more of a YouTuber.
Yeah, you're visually still out there just as much, if not more. You're just on different platforms, or you're at home, like just reading Twitter and ignoring my texts, that's what you're doing.
I mean, the other thing I do, guys, before we get to Jax's side of it, is that I live off of the hard work of my family.
People think you're a Nepo baby.
Well, currently I'm in my my in-laws' cottage. Like I'm in their sunroom right now recording. And like, I didn't do anything to earn any of this. I just happened to meet the right girl at the right time and tricked her into falling in love. Like, it's great. I didn't do any of this. So
my
there's
favorite
also
thing
that.
is, and I get protective over that. People are like, well, who his mother is. And it's like, do you know how hard Adam has worked? And I will say Adam has worked his ass off, and Adam, his mother, whoever the heck he knows, has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it. And Adam works, like, do you see how sweaty this man is? It's not because it's hot out.
It is hot. It's hot in here. I'm not going to lie.
But you do work very hard, and I get very protective. Also, your mother worked very, very hard for a long time and did not make as much money as she should for a very long time, because women are women and they don't ever make as much money as they should. So I have a lot of trouble with that comment that are like, oh, this guy. Yeah. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Sorry.
Who cares? Watch the show or don't watch the show. You can make whatever comment about me. Believe me, I'm not reading it. Jax,
I am.
Give me how do you make a reasonable living?
Well, I think it's a bit mysterious because, I'm, and it seems like I'm probably on a lot of vacations, et cetera, but I am lucky. First of all, I'm working always when I'm away, but I'm lucky enough to be able to work from anywhere at this point, working remotely. But my primary source of income, like my only source of income, is digital campaigns, editing, filming, doing all of that, and then collaborating with companies to, promote their product. But I've been really lucky to do it in a way that the companies let me be me and me be silly, because I think I was always scared to do a lot of stuff online with companies because I thought I was too different or too weird or too queer or too much. And I've been really lucky with a lot of companies where they've, helped me pay my rent by being me. And then, we have this, the podcast, and folks have listened to this and watched this. So we're making a business out of this, but I work more like hourly, I guess. Yeah. I work more than I did in radio, but I'm self-employed, like I run my own company. So it's really scary because sometimes it's feast or famine.
Of course.
That's what it is. Whether you're in media, self-employed, construction, you either are like, I can make it this month, or am I going to make it this month? But I've been really, really lucky lately to work with some fun companies that have helped me, make some fun content. So thank you to that. And thank you to you,
what's crazy
Adam.
about that, I got to tell you, is Jax, when we started, so Jax and I worked in radio a long time, even before we were on each other's show. And, some of that hesitancy you hear from Jax in that answer is that there were bosses she had, or not necessarily bosses in like the one I'm thinking of. Toronto always kind of, let us our freak flag fly, but there were people around. There were people around who were like above, who were circling like, oh, that's a little weird. Like, I don't know if that reflects the station's brand properly. And I'm thinking about like 2015, 2016, 2017, whatever. I remember, so Jax and I got a McDonald's thing delivered to the radio station we were working at. This is before we worked together.
Oh, yeah.
And Jax, this is crazy. Jax was like, I hope we can dig up this video, Jax, because she put 2 Egg McMuffins on my bare stomach.
Yeah.
And I was lying across a table, and she ate them off of my stomach, and then just looked at the camera and said, And it was like, it was really weird. And people didn't know how to react, right?
Yeah, that is strange.
And It was strange stuff, but it's very us. And like, I think that because Jax has leaned into that, people love Jax because she'll do things that I think a lot of people wouldn't do, where had she stuck with what people had told her to do, I don't know that you'd be where you are. You know what I mean?
And also we didn't know each other that well to do that.
No, we didn't.
You know what I mean? Like we didn't.
Comfort level is 100% though.
But you were always, you always wanted to be silly and weird with me. And I think I was, I think I want to make content, and I want to make content that feels a bit different because I think people feel a bit different, and the internet is really, well, like I have more friends than I can count that are off the internet now because they're like, it makes me feel sad. It makes me feel comparative. It makes me feel alone. It makes me feel, like not enough or something.
Yeah,
and like
100%.
you're always looking through people's Instagrams. You're like, oh, I'm not this person or I'm not that friend. And I want to make content that feels inclusive, either inclusive or really weird. Yeah. And that the latter was that main. I'll find it. We'll find it. Like, I don't know. Everybody's doing like, yum, this is awesome for McDonald's. And I want to eat my McDonald's off a bare man's chest, you know?
Right. As a gay woman.
Yeah.
A hairy bare man's chest, by the way, too.
Like, get it? Like, this is for the lesbians. That's what I said to myself. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's get to our recommendations for the week. Jacqueline, do you have one?
Okay, it's not new. It's not what you're going to expect, but I saw Hereditary this weekend.
Oh, you watched a scary movie?
I know. I hate scary movies.
Okay.
And I thought, I don't know about this. But my friend had said, she was like, this is not, because I didn't realize it's Ari Aster, the same guy who did Midsommar. And yes. I love Midsommar. And it's like the psychological, like it's art, right? Like it's like a high art film. And I watched Hereditary and I like Toni Collette a lot. And listen, I was scared, but I loved it. So if you are looking to watch a really dark movie on a hot, sunny day, guys, I recommend Hereditary. Okay.
Oh, I like it. You know what? Since we're going to do that, since we're going to do movies that already came out, I introduced my in-laws to the Robert Pattinson Batman last night. And they, like my mother and father-in-law, were like spellbound. They were like, this is amazing, because they hadn't watched it. And my wife and her mom are very similar in the sense that when things get scary, like my wife will put the show on mute. Or
yes, Natalie. Yes, honey. Yeah.
And my mother-in-law, she'll pull out her iPad and start scrolling, like, you know, it used to be the Bay until the Bay went bankrupt. But like she like start, you know, searching through her favorite stores or whatever because she doesn't want to get too scared.
You can't be scared if you're busy. That's right, girl.
That's right. That's right. But
that's right.
It's dark, it's gritty, and it's like, you know, there are some great movies, like blockbuster movies in theaters. I'm going to go see Superman this week. But I got to tell you, that one is such a monster and it's so underrated. It's a great movie, but you need like 3 hours to watch it. So you should watch it. And I know Jackson.
I love Robert Pattinson. I love him.
You need to watch this. I know you haven't.
Okay. No, I haven't. God, I haven't. Of course I haven't. Why would I? But I will watch because you told me to, maybe.
Okay, well, that's great. And anyway, listen, I just a quick reminder, everybody, please share this with anybody you think might like this show. We're a growing show, so we want to collect any and all people that want a podcast that's light and funny and has some great breakup moments on it, you know, with Left on Red, and all that sort of stuff. So make sure you share this with them. Subscribe to us on YouTube, because remember, we do full video versions of this podcast. You might only listen on audio, and also rate us on the Apple Store and on Spotify as well, too, because that helps us. I don't know why those are the rules, but those are the rules. They kind of say, you know what? If you don't get a rating on this podcast, you're not going to show up on the charts. So we want to show up on the charts so other people can find us.
We want to chart. I also want to say one hot, quick thing before we go, Adam Wilde.
Do it.
Is that, hello, if you are in the Maritime Provinces, I'd like to celebrate Pride with you this weekend. It is Halifax Pride Dance Party Central this weekend, and I'm going to be hosting The Grind in Halifax, Nova Scotia on the Garrison grounds. So if you're Nova Scotian or in the general vicinity, let's get wild and dance, and maybe we'll send Adam a weird selfie video from the dance floor on the grass, okay?
Please do. If you're a fan of the Adam Wilde and Jax show and you see Jax, make sure you get a video and send it in, because I want to see it.
I want to meet you. We're looking for new friends, whether it's subscribing or on a dance floor, and we love you.